shape this the dream with a long dress at church, which is okay for you to have those dreams. It's okay. Or a diamond ring, that you have. But I'm here to tell you this morning, my dear sisters, that the greatest love of all is not something that you find. The greatest love of all is something that is already in you. The greatest love of all is something that is already in you. And we're going to see from the Bible this morning how that is possible. You know what's interesting? In the English language, thank you. So you say, I love mine? Which is good. I hope you loved your mother. Okay? And if she's still alive, call her today and say, Mom, I love you. Okay? And if you were someone that was very difficult, say, Mom, forget me. Okay? So you say, I love my mother. I said, I love my husband. Not all the time, but sometimes you love him, right? It's okay. You like chicken adobo? Yes. Of course. I love God. In the English language, there's only one word. But when we study the Bible, in the English language, we only have one, and you can use it for all this. However, when we open the Bible, when we study the scriptures, especially in the New Testament, there are 4 ways, not one, but 4 ways to define love. Okay, so here we got here. The center is love. Stay with me now. So we have what we call the eros. How do I go back? Yes. We have the eros. Okay. This is where the word erotica comes. Okay. This is a kind of sexual love. We have storge. Because statistics are showing us right now that average, and this is horrible, the average age in which boys are becoming into pornography is 9 years of age. Are you with me? It's horrible. It's horrible. So, eras, and by the way, I know this is a very difficult topic, and people don't want to talk about this. When we have so many young women in our churches, okay, that come here from the Philippines to work, this is something that we have to address. How do we deal with sexual urges? How do we deal with this? I know that that's not something you're used to talking about, but when we don't talk about it in church, guess what happens? People go learn that outside. And you tell me which is better. You tell me which is better. So we have that kind of love. Then we have, as I mentioned, storge, not storge, but storge, the familiar love, philia, which is the love of friends, and finally we have the agape, which is God's love. So let's take a look at the 4 of them so that we can learn something this morning. So storge is a familiar love is between the parents and children, or when you're a kid and you love everybody because you're still very innocent. The catalyst, the center of that is the memories. You remember the love that you have for your mother, especially if your mother is gone like mine. You remember her. You remember your dad. You remember the love that you had when the world was beautiful, before innocence was taken away from you. And by the way, if you have small children, protect them. Protect their innocence. Okay? Don't let them try to grow up too fast. Protect your children's innocence. How is this love shown? It's shown through gratitude towards the people closest to you. It's interesting, my sisters, and 1 or 2 brothers here, that the specific Greek noun storge, familiar, natural affection, does not appear in the New Testament. Now, this is important here. It does not appear in the New Testament. However, the compound or the negative forms of the word are used 3 times. Okay. The positive compound, philostorgos, devoted, appears once in Romans 12:10. The negative one, and this is important, astorgos. When the Bible talks about people that are heartless, people that are not very caring, and appear twice in the book of Romans. Are you a person that is astorgos? Are you someone who's frustrated all the time? Are you someone who's mean? Are you rude? Do you come to church and you mistreat other people? Are you always so somber in the way that you look? Do you never smile? And we have Philly. Philly has the affectionate love, a love that runs deep between true friendship. There's nothing sexual about this. I'm sure that through life you probably had a best friend. Or you had, and by the way, I've said this many times before and I need to say it again, unfortunately, and you heard me say this before, unfortunately, women tend to be their worst enemies. Women tend to destroy each other. Women tend to criticize each other more. You know something that is interesting? When I went to college, I remember, okay, and this is about 100 years ago, some of us stayed with the same college roommate. Yet in the girls' dorm, they would change every semester. I mean, my own daughter is in roommate number 3 now. Women sometimes are their worst enemies. And when we have churches in Hong Kong that are populated mostly by women, this is something that we need to talk about. Let us be very careful that we're not tearing each other down, but that you're edifying each other. And so that you understand how that works, because I said it before, when guys get together, we don't talk about another man's shoes. We don't talk about another man's hair. We don't, well, in my case, no hair. So we don't do that. But when women get together, did you see her? Did you see the shoes? You know what I'm talking about. So unfortunately, women can be their worst possible enemies. So if you had a friend that betrayed you, you're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. How do we show this love? It's supportive of your friends, open communication, you trust, you can get into different conversations, and this kind of love is mentioned 25 times in the New Testament, 25 times. And then moving on, then we have eros, as we mentioned. This is romantic love, personal infatuation. The body is a catalyst. You engage in physical contact, such as hugging or kissing. That is that kind of love. And that portrays itself a lot when we're younger, because the older you get, this is important, but not as important as when you were younger. It is important. It will always be important. Everybody wants to be hugged. And this is something that we try to teach the younger generation. One day, this part of your life is not going to be as important as it used to be when you were 20. But they don't believe it. But when we get older, we realize that it will always be important, but not as important as before. And then we have agape love. And we remember John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave what? His only begotten Son. That what? Whosoever believes in him should not perish, but have what? Eternal life. This is the greatest love of all. This is how agape love works. Take a look at it. It offers forgiveness. God forgives us. Okay. It prays for his enemies. Even in the cross, Christ was praying for other people that was hurting him. It gives generously. It never fails. Bears all and sacrifices oneself. This is the truth of agape love. Now, there's one passage in the Bible, sisters, that I like to bring to you because it's usually misunderstood. And is this passage here. And I love when people read this at weddings because they had nothing to do with that. My sisters, this is not human love. Can we read it together? And by the way, when we read together, it's not a competition. We read slow. So let us read together at the count of 3. 1, 2, and 3. If I speak in the tongues of men or of angels, but do not have love, I will be as nothing more or if I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, faith that can move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. Let's stop here. My wife and I were having a conversation that I need to, because I like to speak to the Antillean Adventist University these days. They're building a brand new church, probably more than $1 million. It's going to be beautiful. But you know the problem? Can you tell me what is priority? So this is what Paul is saying. You know, if I have all the prophecies, we Adventists, we have the prophecy. If we have all the prophecies, but you don't take the time to bless someone that is next to you, it means what? Nothing, absolutely nothing. Verse 3 here. If I give all I possess to the poor and give over my body to hardship, that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain what? Nothing. Love is what?
Patient.
So don't go so fast, huh? Why? You guys are very patient. Okay, I don't see a lot of hands. Love is what? Love is patient. This is something that we have to learn. Love is what? No, let's go back to the patience. You want to run away from it. Not easy, Love is what? Patience. Okay. When was the last time that you woke up in the morning and said, God, give me a lot of patience? We don't pray for that. We don't pray sometimes for the things that are most important in our lives. God, give me patience. Love is patient. Love is what? Kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not what? Proud. It does not dishonor others. By the way, what that means is God is never in the business of embarrassing people in public. Don't humiliate people in public. Public humiliation is a satanic thing. Be careful when you post comments on your Facebook feed about other people. Humiliate to accuse. Okay. Love never, ever embarrasses. Continue to read here. Okay. It does not dishonor others. It's not self-seeking. With me now. It is not easily what? Come on, sisters. It's not. We all need to work with it. Look at yourself. You know, it keeps records of not wrong out there. Because a lot of women. Stay with me now here. Can you tell me if this is true or not? Yeah. A lot of women can be hysterical, but can also be historical. Yeah? You know, you did this a year ago and 20 years ago, and I'm like, wow, I did not even remember that I did that. You bring it out here, and the Bible tells you love keeps records of no wrong. Does not mean that you forget everything, but you don't have a list of what you did. Okay? That does not foster good relationships. My sister, can you imagine what would be like if when you pray, if when I pray, God would say, well, let me look at the list. He does not do that. He does not do that. So once again, it keeps records of honor. Read with me, verse 6 here. Love does not delight in what? Evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. 8. Love never fails. Their prophecies, they will cease. Their tongues, it will be still. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when completeness comes, in what part disappears. When I was a child, I talked like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. I need to stop there for a second. Personal maturity, it's part of growing up. There are people that still adult behave like little children. The person that is so easily offended. It's to walk around, it's like walking on eggshells because I'm so afraid what I'm going to say that you're going to be offended. It's time, in the name of Christ, to grow up. A Christian should not be like that. We should not be offended by every little detail. I think it was about a few weeks ago, a couple of months ago, we had a young nurse. I don't think she's older than 21 or 22. A patient insulted her, and she didn't want to be a nurse anymore. And I'm like, sweetheart, this is part of the job. I've been insulted by patients. I've been called all kinds of names. But, when you insult me, I said, I'm sorry that you feel that way. I cannot fall apart just because someone insulted you. I'm not saying that you have to rejoice. But when there's love in your heart, you begin to act like a mature adult. Sometimes in our board meetings, we behave like children. Sometimes in our church meetings, we behave like little kids. And if you don't get your way, you start making faces. You start calling people's names. Because you see, my sisters, it's a lot easier to talk in general terms, but when we have to deal with the details of daily life, religion becomes a little different.